Hi Ryan, what's up? Okay, I did made some changes to stream. I made some changes to stream. Ryan got first, period. And that's what we like. And this is what we want to see. How are you doing, Ryan? Ryan, we're going to be playing Sims today. Um for some reason I have no audio. Does everything sound okay, Ryan? At least my mic versus the music. Ali, welcome in. Yeah, everyone get your check-ins. It's Friday. I'm so happy that it's Friday, guys. It has been, let me tell you, the longest week ever. I'm so happy to see you guys. We're gonna get into some BS. Sorry, I couldn't hear at all. Wait, because you had no audio or because my mic was fucked up? Be honest. Also, I want to add a static command. Um, for crunchy. I can hear you. Oh no, I'm in a VC and they're loud. Mm-hmm. Say their names. Just kidding. Hi, guys. The children are back. Also, new Cyndaquil plush update with fire on the back, straight from Japan. Straight from Japan. Guys, crunchy, new crunchy command for when I'm playing PlayStation and the audios. Yes, they're back. They're back on their seats. All cozy. Guys, how's everyone doing? Japan? Yeah, Mark was in Japan. He's back this week. Um, so he brought me a bunch of stuff. Our cutie, what's up, cutie? Hi. Get your check-in. How are you doing, Ark? Are you ready for your tourney this weekend? Oh, I'm stealing all those. Oh, they're locked up. They're under lock and key on the weekend, okay? Don't even try. You better make sure to lock your doors. The security is set. Ronathan! Oh my god, Ronathan. 49 check-ins. Holy shit. Guys, we're playing Sims today. Actually, speaking of Sims, let I'm gonna look for my MCC mod. Yeah, MCCC mod. Download MC. Okay. I have nobody tabbed right now, by the way. I'm an L friend. Let's get Darlene tabbed. Alex tabbed. I don't know who Sparky is, but I'm closing this tab out. Darlene, Alex, Thick Ducker, Lulsdy, Z. A lot of friends. I really don't remember R&B Honey, but we'll have to pop in their chat to remember who they are. Okay, everyone's muted. That's good. We got our download. We're going to put this in our mods folder. We're listening to some jazzy R&B right now. That's kind of gonna be the vibe tonight. I got D&D in a little. Yes, oh my god, D&D. Guys, I need to revisit my D&D campaign, but also like does anybody want to be my DM? Does anybody want to let me play in a campaign? I need somebody to like really get into it. All I know is Umbreon is mine. I call dibs. Yeah, you and Ark need to race to the thievery, okay? I hear they need to be left near an open window in order for the new. Oh, for the. Yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly, exactly. Hi, babe. Welcome in. Guys, I've missed you so much. Ryan, I've missed you so much. Ark, I feel like I spent so much time with you last weekend, like last week for your birthday. Like hanging out in your stream and such. I hope you had a good week this week. Wasn't on Twitch at all this week. It was just so busy. Um, yeah, I was just so busy this weekend. But like, of course, as soon as anxiety is done being MIA, we should see if he can DM. Oh my god, yes, I would love that. Anxiety's return. He should do a campaign on stream, and we should all just play on a call. Like, wouldn't that be so fun? I feel like that would be so much fun. Okay, I downloaded my mod. We're gonna open Sims. We're gonna get into some things on Sims. We're getting pregnant again. It's official. It's official. I have baby fever. I think we're gonna get pregnant with a toddler. I see Japan didn't stop the check-ins. Exactly. Honestly, last weekend I was streaming when Mark was waking up. So Mark was like on his way out doing stuff as I started streaming last week. The walls are still kind of ugly. Like you can kind of see this. It needs to get painted over, but that's something my landlord can handle when he's ready. I'm just honestly so happy to see everybody here and hang out. Ali, how was your week? What do you have plans with Nola this weekend? He's like, got my check-in, bye. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Art, get your check-in, please. Let's get that count up. Also, this is the last weekend of our fundraiser. I think I'm gonna change the goal to be like $300 because I would really love to do a long stream for everybody. Um, let's actually change that now. We're gonna change it to 300 because I just want it to be a little bit more realistic for the weekend. It would be nice to achieve the goal. Um, oh, I can't lower my goal. Never mind. It's 500 forever. Now what? Now what? Guys, we gotta hit 500. Y'all want to see me for 12 hours in a row? We are going to lunch with my dad tomorrow. Then I'm off next Friday for 4th of July, baby, baby. I also am off next Friday. I'm so excited. Um, I am really happy for a day off next week. Feel like I've just been working nonstop, and to get like a PTO day is gonna be so great. New job update. It's been week 2, and things have been steady moving. It's feeling like a good pace for me. Excuse me. I'm also gonna be super isolated, like feeling like I'm in an island alone. So I am curious to see how the summer goes, but we're balling. How do you like it? I feel like I'm not, because of all the work I've been doing the last few months. I'm so used to being on a team of people with like tons of people around me. Um, but I'm not gonna have that same like really involved team like I've had. So it's kind of been an adjustment to be on my own, but it's good to feel like I'm trusted. I feel like I left on such a bad note from for my job back in February that it kind of took a toll on my mental health, and yeah, it just feels good to be relied on. Like the jobs I've had and the job I have now, like they're really like, you have to do it, like you are responsible for it. So get it done, and it feels good. You being on your island, like, yeah. Plus the folks that my client is really, really nice, and she's been super helpful and collaborative, which has been nice. Like not a lot of like contradictions. Like she's not trying to fight me on stuff. She's just trying to like understand just like I am, which has been really great. Did you do so dirty? No, literally they did me so dirty. Like no warning, no pit, no evaluation of my work, like nothing. It was so strange and so weird. And it hurt really bad. Like I was devastated. Mm, I love the song. All right, we have our cheats in. We're just gonna jump right in to Leilani. Um, oh, we have a base game update June 30th, guys. Also, new camera. We're gonna live here now. Is that okay with everyone? Is it okay to live on this side and flipped? And now look at you, Pookie. I know. I feel like I've grown so much in the last 4 months. And like I said, like I feel like really Stream. I've been using Stream and it's been so helpful to like really find people that get me and support me and see me for who I am. I think the last job I had wasn't letting me be myself. Like I felt like I was code switching all the time. And it was so strange because I've never been in that's not true. I've been in plenty nonprofit settings where I've had to code switch, but this one in particular felt so strange, very white. Okay, so this is making me uncomfy with you on the right side and flipped. I think I like it though. Like, look at this. Now I'm there. Now I'm here. Now I'm there. I think I like this camera angle here. You know, I think I like it a lot. I just have to flip my chatting, I think. Like I'm trying to click onto my face cam, but it literally won't let me. It won't let me even flip my camera. Oh, it's because it's locked like an idiot. Like a dingus. Wait, we're gonna flip it right now, guys. We're flipped. And officially, it's flipped. How about now? There shouldn't be a problem now. Me not knowing how to use OBS after all this time. CJ is the source locked. CJ, how did you know? CJ always coming in here to call me out. CJ, thank you for the check-in. How you doing, friend? How are you? All right, back to gameplay. Oh, it's saying Sims isn't even open. Yeah, like get your shit together. There you go. Here are my cheats. All right, Leilani. She's a single mom who works 2 jobs. No, she has 1 job. Oh my god, and look at our baby girl. I'm good, just EP. How was your week at work? Oh my god, how was Fortnite? I did see you were streaming some Fortnite this week. We're gonna have another baby. We're gonna get our shit together with our ex. He was coming around when our baby daddy died, so I think he's the one. Mauricio. We're gonna have to figure out what Mauricio wants. I'm also sure that Mauricio is a dad. It wasn't too bad actually. Fortnite, my week was rough. Ooh. So Fortnite was bad. So I shouldn't start playing Fortnite again, is what you're saying. Guys, I want to start playing Fortnite again. All that to say, I would really like to start playing Fortnite again. No, Fortnite wasn't bad. Oh, okay. Your week was rough. Oh, it wasn't too bad actually. Fortnite. My week was rough. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that, friend. Like, I hope that you are excited for your weekend and that I hope you have a better weekend. Do you plan on streaming this weekend? All right, let's see where we're at. So we got our girl Leilani. She is working on her mischief, but it is. Well, how much more do we have of this aspiration? Oh, this is the last. This is the last level. Clog 3 drains. Okay. Perform voodoo and achieve level 10. All right, we have some time though, cause she homegirl is Justina. What? Why are you upset? I'm so sad we have no, we had a death in the family. Oh, Chonky's asleep. Let's make sure our aging is on. Another person. Alright. It's okay, we persevere. Yeah, I'll be on tomorrow. Yay! Oh my god, yeah, tomorrow I'm playing some DBD. Or actually, Sunday I'm playing DBD. Tomorrow I'm playing Pokemon on stream. No mind. No way. Building called Chunky to eat. She is struggling. Here we go. Uh-oh. She's exhausted. Maybe it's time to go to bed. Uh-oh. Over and over and over. Alright, vete a dormir. Here we go. Uh-oh. I forgot how cute our greenhouse is. It's coming back! Yes, I know, and I won't fuck it up this time. I'll make sure all the VODs are posted. I'll make sure of it all, okay? What if we put one of these up here? Would that look nice, do we think? Guys, I'm really obsessed with this house too. Like, I think I did such a good job of remodeling. She's awake. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué está? Why is he why is? Here we go. What's wrong with the raccoon? Oh. Uh-oh. Guys, what is this floating toy doing? Over and over and over and over. Uh-oh. We're gonna put the thing here. Who is this? Hi Cosmosis, welcome in. How are you doing? I was like, who is making all that ruckus over there? There you go. Ark is dying! Oh my god, Ark is getting on in years? What do you mean? I'd be good just under the weather. You're feeling sickies? Did we learn what's wrong with the raccoon? Chucky is hungry. I thought I filled the bowl. I literally filled the bowl. Not waking her up at 2 a.m. to get fed.
Svarva.
Like, your food bowl is filled. What? Oh, I guess she's hungry. Girl, you need to go to bed. Let's have her use the bathroom and then see. I'm gonna make her tired, and I'm gonna make her clean. Bless you. Alright, everyone's asleep now. Guys, we're gonna get pregnant before the end of stream, okay? That is the goal. Are we all okay with that? Oh, homegirl's awake. Look at her go. Oh, she is a mess. She is a mess. I'm gonna make her clean because we don't have a tub to clean her in. And I'm gonna make her full because I don't really feel like dealing with that. Look at her going down the stairs. Our girl is so big. Oh, she used the bathroom. Oh, you know what? Oh my god, it's 7:30 in the morning. Allie, did Nola ever get up on her own and like disappear from where she's supposed to be after she was sleeping? Look at her go. Yes. Just like this, climbed all the way down the stairs. No, do not splash in the toilet, girl. Look at her. She's already a mess. We need a tub. I think we're gonna have to get a tub somehow. I don't know where we're gonna fit a tub. Do you think a bathroom fits up here? No. A bathroom does not fit up here. Not in the slightest. These rooms barely fit up here. Here, let's get rid of this. And this. And then we'll move this up here. And then we will put the toilet here. And there's a mirror on this wall. Mirror, mirror. Oh, there was no mirror. Okay, maybe I'm a liar. Guys, we should be used to me lying on stream already, okay? And let's get a tub. Because homegirl can't bathe in a shower yet. Oh, this is cute. Period. Look at that. What a cute little bathroom. Yeah, go play in that while your mom's asleep. I think we're all good so far. Oh, maybe the food bowl can go somewhere else too. Okay, I feel better about that. Oh, look at her playing with the blocks. She is so cute. Hi, Shadow. Welcome in. Thank you for getting your check-in, friend. Yes, I checked her camera, and I'm like, hello. She would be on the couch like, Bip. Oh, no. Oh, R.I.P. Ark. Off to the Rainbow Bridge. Bye, Ark. R.I.P. in peace. Back to Justina. How are you doing, Shadow? Welcome in. Look at Chunky. Chunky's like, here, let's play with Chunky. Let's pet. Let's babble. Cute little toddler. Living room. Shadow, how's your week? How was your streams? How have your streams been? Let's talk about it. Oh, there should be a mirror in here, actually. Back, you're my losing game. You're my lucid dream. Wow. What do you mean, wow? I'm asking how your streams were. You're my lucid dream. Oh, stinky fridge. Okay, Mama, it's time to get up, Mama. Mama, it's time to get up. It's Monday. She has work in 41 minutes, by the way. I have 6 vacation days. You know what? We are calling off of work. Take a vacation day. Hang out with your baby in a second. Let's clean out spoiled food. Let's do all our chores. Let's make her do some exercise. Let's give Justina a bubble bath. Oh dear. We need to... Is there any weeds anywhere? No, just watering. And back. We only have 1 hen. We need to get more chickens somehow. Oh! Look at her knees coming through her dress. Hi! It's been going good. You just reminded me I have to stream today. Oh, not me reminding you. Are you gonna play Rivals again? For Fortnite? Be honest. Look at her go.
Oh no.
Oh, stop! They're so cute! Look at her go. Honestly, our baby girl is so big.
Oh, Tinkwell.
New family dynamic strict. When it comes to Leilani and Justina, I'm gonna let all these things happen naturally. There seems to be a sense of order, seems to be abound, as the younger Sims have a deep respect for their older family member, often meeting the older Sim's high expectations. For family members with a strict family dynamic, the older Sim will ask the younger Sim to do things like cleaning more, and the younger Sim will generally avoid rebelling, though both might get stressed overall. Sure, that makes sense. Very, very much a firstborn situation. Time to take a shower, little girl. Who's that? Oh, the mailman brought over the bills. Oh, look at them go! Stop, so sweet. Look at her go. She is so happy. Look at her. Stop, this is so cute. I'm obsessed. Oh, she's using her diaper. Even though we just bathed her. Does that happen to Allie? Oh. I was gonna say, how come it's not letting me clean the coop? Make clean. Create hen, create egg. Create hatchable egg. Oh. Not me trying to cheat. Here, let's purchase chickens. Let's purchase a rooster. Justina unlocked a recipe for friendly treats. Not Justina knowing how to make friendly treats and not her mom. She's going down to talk to the plants. Oh, you know why I couldn't purchase? Look at that. Because I was playing as the little girl, and I didn't even realize. Eat your rice cakes, girl. Take your rice cakes with you. Nope, she doesn't.
Ah.
4 eggs, not hatchable. Clean up. Who is he chittering at? Is she disgusting and dirty? Let's see. Oh no, she's chilling. Her bladder's going down though. Loves water. She's an happy infant. Look at her. She's just a happy infant. She's silly. Oh, she's talking to the plants. They're gonna hang out in the kiddie pool. Look at them. They live on the beach. Like they're so adorable. How can we hate them? Oh, look at them in the kiddie pool. Why is she sad? Should I be more lenient? Leilani is wondering whether all these strict rules and high standards are worth upholding. Oh, it's okay. You're doing a great job, Mama. Oh my god. Oh, she has to monitor Justina in there, which is kind of crazy. It's good to hear your voice, Leilani. I wanted to ask if I should get to know Agnes Crumplebottom a little bit better. Sure. Enough relaxing, girl. Chonky's just staring into the abyss. How full is the laundry basket? Let's see. Not that full. Okay, let's. Oh, there's laundry in here. There's laundry in there that didn't get finished. That's not good. Growing so fast. Oh my god, toddler's level 3 in movement. Let's go, Justina. You're eating. There you go. Time to do laundry. That laundry wasn't finished. Imagination skill. What is she even up to? Oh, she is speeding. Oh, she's going to play. Look at her go. She's so sweet. Oh, she is climbing those stairs with a quickness. Who's that? Who's that? Who's coming onto my property? Oh, our friend. Oleana. I forgot her name. Just boat spawning out of nowhere. It's kind of crazy. Look at her go. Alright, let's invite... We have to do it. Let's invite him to... Oh, actually... Update Instagram. Not buy a store. Mauricio. Come over and hang out. With their laundry is kind of crazy. Place the water. Look at her dancing. But she has to use the bathroom. Mauricio's coming, yay! Oh, she's sleepy. Let's put her to bed. And then Mauricio and I will have a little alone time. Look at them. Oh, so sweet. Come, woohoo. I mean, no, baby gate on those stairs is crazy. Actually, we can baby proof the doorways. The doors. We can baby proof something. No, don't grab a serving. Let's cook dinner together. Cook together with Mauricio. They're in their makeup era, okay? Let them make some garlic noodles together. Why not? Can y'all cook together or what? Cook together. Fine, make a caprese. Is that easier? Look at them.
Jarba! One!
Jarba! Jarba! Jarba!
Huh.
Look at the raccoon just on our fridge. He's just supervising. Sharing securities. Make funny. Actually, let's change her outfit. Dresser, change outfit. I think I'm being too strict on my girl.
And Vapin. Brifna, Dorfty Bep.
I never really got over you. This is so toxic. Oh my god, raccoon just on our tomatoes. Can you?
I floof Moochie Peachy.
I have floof Moochie Peachy.
Wargabay.
Frifa.
Bisa Sway.
Huh?
Clavorva Pendola.
Oh, Aunt Chibi.
Huh?
Like, look at them just chilling and hanging out. Okay, push-ups in the living room, boy, chill. Like, literally, like, what are you doing? Put her to bed for adult time. No, literally. Level 2 gourmet cooking. She's just better.
Ooh. Abi Munip.
Oh.
Hun. Oh, he's cleaning our fridge? Guys, this is the one. He's cleaning the fridge.
Typical babe.
Okay, he put the dirty
Typical
dishes
babe.
down.
Gibbs.
He didn't clean the dirty dishes.
Tony babe.
Vadish.
Oh, he gave up on it. Never mind. Maybe he's just calling me out.
50 Swibik. Skizna Plushi. Bimaza. Wafatub.
Wafatub.
Musty Scorpina.
Moochie Peachy.
Shabini Janib. Gibbs. Renip.
Wait, why are you tense?
Pain. Blasho and a Fej. Shippy. You know.
Let's get flirty, guys. Let's get flirty.
Almost. Sycophoof. One Fej Lika.
Homegirl is awake somehow.
Kasana Oglay. Pershushi.
Can you go to bed? I don't know where this little girl went. Little girl's halfway down the stairs, by the way. Oh my god, the toddler. Romantic satisfaction. Let's go. Okay, okay. Look, he's gonna grab a serving now, like 5 hours later.
So. Same trip, Balafoy, huh?
Or he's just gonna wash his hands. Girl, they literally never go to bed. I am forcing her to sleep. She's hangry as well because she hasn't eaten all day.
Ooh.
Jinky scoop.
That's all you've been. Ukaru.
It's too late to feed her, so we're gonna cheat. This is why we have to cheat. Oh, no. Why are you... Where are you going? Come back. I'm not done with you. Moment speeds from tucking the toddler. It's crazy. I'm not done with you. Sorry. We gonna woohoo. Sit and chat here. Sit and chat on the bed. Be flirty. Be flirty on the bed. We're gonna also put his clothes back on, because what are you doing? For some reason we can't woohoo. I don't know why. Is it because he's tense? No, he's happy. Oh, look at her sitting there talking to him. Thank you so much for helping. She's like thanking him for being there while she was mourning and screaming, crying, throwing up about the death of her baby daddy, who she thought she was gonna be with forever. That's it. Kiss. We're here. We're here. Kiss again. Look at them. I love kind of spying on them from the window. Look at that. Better days. That's it. We're gonna kiss. It's official. Oh, we're so back. We're so back. Stop. They're so cute. Oh! That was cute. That was cute. Alright, woohoo. Why is he losing romantic and asked to be romantic partner? That's it. It's over. Try for baby. Period. We're having another kid. I want to make my life hard. Romantic.
Tarf Gancha.
Do you want to be, like, friends with benefit? Oh, look at them.
Shusha.
Oh.
Aflin Wadida. Apodola.
They're obsessed with each other. I live.
Kisana.
Oh, they're gonna do it. They're trying for baby. She's exhausted, though. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Let's give them their privacy. Let's see what we can do around the house. The chickens are asleep. The plants are done. Where's the animal? Oh, she's sad. Oh, she's very sad. Had a nightmare. Girl, your mom is occupied right now. I'm gonna preoccupy you because your mom is busy. Play. Don't go play in the toilet. Play with this toy. Play. Sit. Play with rocking chair. Just play with it. Yeah, go do that. Well, they're busy. Oh, they're not busy anymore. Okay. Sleep. And I'm gonna make her go to bed. Night night. Look at Justina. She's adorable. Of course, a nightmare during woohoo. Yeah. Well, roof on. Yeah, of course she's waking up while the woohoo's happening. While they're trying for a baby, by the way. Not eating the toy. She's imagining green. Where did Mauricio go? Mauricio is reading a book. Cool, cool. Oh, look at her go. She is so cute. Goodbye. Cheat that away. Warm and cozy clothing. Marshmallowy toes. Oh, marshmallowy toasty. So realistic to our life. Just playing around at 2 a.m. instead of bedtime? No, literally. That's it. Oh, look at her. Because she can't sleep, she's gonna nap. Who is Wiki? Oh, we don't like her. Adoring, fascinated. Justina can't seem to stop smiling and giggling around Leilani. What an amazing bond. Stop. I'm obsessed with her. Oh, look, and like, let's see. Women and men. Oh, Mauricio is like me, for real. Leilani is satisfied. Unknown attraction level, alone satisfaction. Non-physical romance triggers jealousy. Physical romance triggers jealousy, and woohoo triggers jealousy. Cool, because homegirl is jealous. She's sad because she's stinky. Can we go to bed? Can we just get a full night's sleep? Come on, girl. Get it together. Even the raccoon is sleeping. Even Chonky. Even Chonky is asleep. Look at him. He wakes up as I said that. Alright. She needs to get up. She has shit to do. She has to learn if she's pregnant. She's pregnant. We have to throw up animation. We have to throw up, action. Hold on, she's pregnant. She's pregnant. Guys, it happened. It worked. Take a bath. Let's brush teeth. Oh my god, she's pregnant. It's exactly what I wanted. Ditzy, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. How are you? Lurking, I appreciate you. Thank you for lurk. Get your check-in before you lurk. And she's pregnant. Guys. Guys, this playthrough gets better and better. No, don't just stop taking a bath. Take a bath. Wasting all these clothes. It's broken. What's happening? Throw up, wash hands. Oh, she is going through it in the bathroom. Everything's dirty. Everything's dirty. Hold on. Throw up again. Polish to perfection. Use. Oh, she is so sick. Give Justina a bath. And then we'll have to expert repair this. We have tons of stuff to do before work. Oh, she is not happy. That little girl, I don't know where she's going. She can't do any of this because she's too uncomfortable. The chickens are up. Mauricio just left the book. Okay, she finally used the potty. She's pregnant. Woo! Feeling insecure from jealous trait? Not if your significant other isn't around. How can you know what they're doing and who they're doing it with? Girl, relax. Y'all oh my god, we can't catch a break. We're gonna have to ask for another vacation day. We don't have enough time in the day to do all the things we have to do. Homegirl is making a mess, by the way. Let's give her applesauce after giving her a bath. Here comes Stank Baby too. I know, like all up in the business. And to think I want a second toddler, like what are we doing? Everything just broke at once. Okay, she's feeling better, so we're gonna water all. Spray area for bugs. Why is she uncomfortable? What did the... Oh. Oh, look at them.
Oh, baby. Yes. Bliss.
Why is the... Oh. Oh my god. Hey, let's stop everything we're about to do. Hi, I have a lot to share with you. We're about to have a baby. Now what?
Sparsa. Cebu. Aw. Himbuya. Himbuya Sharsha Gravy.
Oh, Winubu?
Wanubu.
Oh,
Haga. Rix.
they're so
Quexi.
sweet.
Darzadoba. Smart.
I heard you and
Yes.
Mauricio started dating. Yes, we did. We're back at it. Back at it again.
Giuseppe my beam. Simona Saro.
All mine.
Yano Borb.
That is crazy.
Free nip.
I never knew that.
Gungaday. Yawada. Galpa Fateb. Pinopa Campe. Birus Kansas. Stumsy Turup. Grenea Hislop.
Okay,
Awu Vine
we're done here. You can go home.
Yunabi Stulain. Dear Koi Ref Sieg. Yam full stop.
Bye, girl. Yeah, see ya. Thanks for coming over. I know.
Neat.
Can you give her food?
Arvini.
Yeah, can you give her food? Like, give her chips, I guess.
Doyum.
Why is it broken? Oh, look. For some reason, I can't put this on here. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Put Justina here. Look at all this food that she can't eat for some reason.
Oh.
Eat that, girl. Honestly, wait, why? Why are you taking her out? Why are you taking her out? Oh my god, put her in here. Put her here. What is happening? You know what? Eat that. Eat that applesauce, girl. You are giving me a headache. Mr. Beardington, hey, welcome in. How are you doing? Hey. Welcome in. Get your check-in. We have a daily check-in here. Get it. Get it. Get it. Okay, girl, relax. Just it is. How are you doing, Mr. Beardington? Welcome in. That was stressful. Okay, but did you eat? Okay, but did you eat? Okay, period. Clean that up. Is it mine? Is it mine? Synthetic food? Oh, it's a serum. Ooh. Honestly, we're gonna let baby tire herself out and we're gonna go on a run. I can't do that while pregnant. Never mind. I can't go running apparently while I'm pregnant. Oh my god, girl. Mine, is it mine? Is it mine? Guys, should we get married? Let's be honest. When's her birthday anyway? Hold on. Hold on. There's a lot of questions I have. Let's see. Oh my god. It's the toddler's birthday on Saturday. It is the toddler's birthday on Saturday. This is crazy. We're already getting so old. Your commentary is literally me every day. Is this what motherhood is like? I have literally never played a Sims game. Well, you came to the right place. I've heard from a lot of people that Sims is definitely the kind of game that's better to watch than play. I enjoy playing The Sims. I like the chaos. I love building in The Sims. I kind of like it all. Hi, Jam. Welcome in. Thank you for the check-in. Thank you for getting your check-in. Thank you for your check-in, Ditzy. How are you? Jam, how are you doing? Jam, how are you doing today? I hope you're having the greatest day. Not view fish. Don't you have something better to do, like get married, plan your wedding? Plan your daughter's next birthday, by the way. Oh my god, she's gonna be a child. Maybe we should potty train her. Let's potty train the baby. Actually, let's not potty train. No. Don't potty train. Don't potty train. No. Get your plants in order. Water everything. Part of Mr. Beardington, part of The Sims is tons of chaos. Tons of they're doing a lot of stuff that you didn't ask them to do. We got a robot part somehow. Let's collect eggs. Let's scatter feed. Whee! The plants. I know. Like somehow we haven't harvested anything. We haven't sold anything. This is our moneymaker. We're gonna let her tire herself out. Look, she's already sleepy. Do not splash in there. Do not. Do not splash in there. Go do something productive. Go. Here, keep playing. How about you play with that? We collected one egg, by the way. We're getting a call. Mauricio and you are such a great pair. You should think of something long term. Well, Justin, God, really wants them to stay together. So, we're making it happen. Very energized. Now you can potty train your daughter. Potty train. Potty train. And then we have to put her to bed. Where did our crib go? Guys, did we get robbed? Did we or did we not have a crib here? Or am I bugging? I'm pretty sure we had a crib. I'm not remembering where the crib went. Didn't we have a crib here? I'm pretty sure we had a crib. Guys, we did. It was like a pack and play thing. Exactly. Now where to go? Guys, run the VOD back. Where did the crib go? Where did we lose the crib? I'm confused. I'm confused. Not that we need it, because we can't put the baby in there. Evil laughter. Come on. Potty no, don't put her down. Teach her how to use the bathroom. Come on. Now, why would she loop here? She's looping. Mauricio, in the end, Monica Lopez and I were not made for each other. Sorry about it. Sorry about it. I don't even remember him asking, like, should I date Monica? That is a demon baby. This baby is a mermaid, by the way. Yeah. Time to start potty training. Go ahead. You got it. Oh, she is not feeling good. Pregnant as hell. You're right, Mr. Beddington. This is a demon child. We didn't even mean to really have... That's not true. We did mean to have her. But she is a mermaid, and we don't want that. We kind of want regular Sims. Occult Sims are really hard to, like, play with, in my opinion. They have, like, way different needs. We'll let her nap on her own. Good job, baby girl. Good job using the potty. Good job. Oh, she knows how to do it on her own. Here, fill bowl. Mop. Can I clean this? How do I clean this? And who are we talking to? Oh, they're back with food. No. Guys, you never come here with the right food. We're all vegetarian here. Goodbye. Get out. Yep. I'm going to take this and I'm going to make money off of it. Thank you. Cool. Bad potty guidance. Oh, she just pissed all over the floor. Potty accident? That's so sad. Here, wait. Let's put her... Hold on. Put your baby to bed before you start sunbathing. Come on now. Read Justina to sleep. Then, honestly, by the time you're done reading to her, maybe you can do laundry. How much laundry is there? Quite a bit. Do laundry. Wash and wash tub. She's also tired. Holy. Oh, she has the pee too. You know what? The baby walking all the way downstairs just to be brought back upstairs is kind of gaggy. Gaggy! I think he asked after you met the new boo and you were like, whatever, we're done with you. Oh my god, they're here again! After we sent them home. We had a spectacular time, period. I'm a friend. I'm a bringer of people. I'm a connection of peoples, okay? I'm bringing people together. Toddlers be toddlering. I have no idea what to do. I don't know why I've done this to myself. I'm like so stressed about it. Oh, she's reading to her. Oh. Alright. All done. Good night, baby girl. Go use the bathroom already. Let's get leftovers. She's gonna go back. Okay, go. She hasn't eaten all day, by the way. She's pregnant and hasn't eaten. Sorry to have missed you. Girl, I sent you home a million years ago. Let's eat something else. Let's get more leftovers. How about that? And honestly, let's feed Chonky again before. Oh, lecture about attacking. No, you can attack anybody you want, but scratching the furniture is where I draw the line. Let's throw up. She's having a bunch of morning sickness at 9 p.m. by the way. She's having tons of morning sickness at 9 p.m. All right, she's full. Let's go to bed. That's it. Day's over. Period. We're all caught up on shit. Baby is fucking hungry again. Oh my god, why are you up? No, why are you up? Go back to sleep. I'm making her extra tired so she can go. Okay, dude, just swimming around our island. Dude, I don't understand why this is so public. Like, since when? Since when? This is our residence. This is where we live. And people are just always in our house trying to get to the beach. That was me when I was pregnant with Nola. I got nauseous at night after work. Oh my god, that must have been so terribly hard. Like, I would be miserable if, like, I was sick at night after a long day of work. Were you pregnant and working from home then, Allie? Or were you still going to work, like, in person when you were pregnant with the baby? It feels like forever since Leilani has been romantic with a partner. Girl, it was 2 days ago and you're pregnant because of it. Oh, she just exploded, by the way, overnight. We're going to work today for sure. We're not going to worry about doing the plant stuff right now because we honestly don't have the time. We're just going to collect eggs. We're going to let her use the bathroom. And then we're going to get breakfast. Oh, let's clean this first. Have breakfast. Let's have a fruit salad. Ooh, fruit salad. Yummy, yummy. Fruit salad. Let's clean the coop. I was in the office for like 2 months and then COVID happened. Oh! Oh my god, never. I went to my 8-week appointment in January and then mid-March we all got sent home. That is crazy. That is crazy.
Suna.
So that pregnancy must have been way different than the first one. Oh god. Do we have time for it all? No, we don't. We don't have time for it all. Let's do that first, then we'll do this. Send alone. That's fine. We don't have time to get the eggs. There's no more room. There's no more room in the hamper. Guys, there's no more room in the hamper. We have to do our laundry. Send to daycare, please. Guys, we're pregnant. We have to do laundry. I think we just have to cut to the chase. We should get married. We have to get married. We have to get married. It's the only solution. We need Mauricio to move in. Let's just ask him to move in. Right now. Before the baby's born. Actually, maybe we'll have him move in when the baby's born. So I would nap during lunch for breaks. I love that. Oh, having a toddle is so stressful. Yeah, Mauricio. Nobody's home. I have a heart bed and I'm all alone and lonely. Babe, come over. I'll be over in 5 minutes. I'll get in my heart bed revving. Hurry. Sent to daycare. She's with Bae. She's having tons of fun, by the way. Thanks for coming. Excuse me? My heart bed is done for now, so I'm gonna sell it. I'm dead. Ew. She's feeling flirty. There's tons of clothes here, by the way. Let's do the laundry, wash and wash tub. Wash and wash tub. Who is this? Rodrigo Ponce? Who are you? You're new. What are you doing in my house? Why doesn't she want to do the laundry? Do laundry, wash and wash tub. Come on now. Homegirl is sad because she's dirty and hungry and she's having any fun. You know what? I can't believe I'm having another kid. This is too much, too much, too much, too much, too much, too much. Daycare at 7 p.m. Yeah. Oh my god, that's why you're disgusting, because you're in the toilet playing, girl. Oh my god. Hurry up, finish the laundry. Hey, finish the laundry. Browse the web, my ass. Hang these up. She's going to view the fish. Look at her. Like, you don't have a baby who's dirty. Give Justina a bath. What else does she have to do? Eat. Give Justina a bath. Put Justina here. Give food to Justina. Let's give her a PB&J. And then she'll have time to get her stuff together. It's 11 p.m. Gotta keep those bathroom doors closed. Literally.
Ah, Cubepta.
Oh my god. The hamper is full, guys. We're gonna have to do more laundry, by the way. It didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. No, she's making more mess. She's making more clothes. Oh, she's about to piss herself. She pissed herself. She's going back upstairs to put the clothes. I can't do it. Take a breath. Okay. She peed her pants. Look at that. Peed her pants. Use the bathroom. You know what? Take a bath. It's not even the first time it's happened, by the way. And where'd she put the laundry, by the way? Oh, she just peed right there. Oh my god. 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 Do laundry, wash and wash tub, by the way. He's gonna get sick because he didn't eat his food. Look at it. It's old and gross. It's 1 a.m. 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 Sorry, girl. I'm gonna cheat the hunger thing. I'm cheating the bladder too. Like, you're not gonna catch me slipping, girl. Pass out wherever you are, baby. Like, here, nap there. Nap there. Nap on the couch. Your mom is busy. Your mom has tons to do, and she's pregnant. This is why we need our man to move in. Okay? She's embarrassed and the baby's angry. Like, what is going on? This is chaos. This is literal chaos. We can't catch a break. Like, not at all. Look at her, tired. She's like, Nanor. No. Don't check the toddler. Hang on clothesline. Hurry up. Put Justina to bed. Put Justina to bed, please. I'm gonna cheat her hunger. I'm cheating her fun. Because fuck that. I'm sick and tired of it. And she has the fucking PB&J in her hand. The toddler chair is broken. The toddler chair is broken. I can't do it. Ow! Ow! That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Put the baby to bed, please.
Lumida.
It is 4 a.m. She has work tomorrow. Like, what a mess of a night. At least laundry's done, by the way. Sleep. Reset her so she doesn't have a freaking food on her hand, by the way. She left the room to pass out. I can't do it anymore. She left the room to pass out. 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 I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, she can take family leave? Oh, thank goodness. What is her performance like? It's good because we went to work. Oh my god. We didn't even have time to eat.
Indaki! Indaki!
Fear of being cheated on? What do you mean?
Ciao!
We're cheating all her needs. I don't care. Now we're having to pee again. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Hurry, hurry, hurry! Filthy? No, don't check the toddler. Replace water. Set laundry down. Set laundry down. Send alone. I'm stressed out. It's filthy clothing, by the way. Where are you going? But where is she going? Why aren't you going to work? Why aren't you going to work? I'm confused. Oh my god, she's miserable. She's having the worst life ever. What happened to our life? What happened to our life, guys? What happened to our life? Like, she's just upset all the time now. The baby, her clothes are dirty. Like, what is happening? The PB&J is here, by the way. I can't do it. Hurry up, finish work. She's in her 3rd trimester since when? Oh, she's gonna have her baby. Oh, she's gonna have her baby. Oh, she's gonna have her baby. Oh, she's gonna have her baby at work. Oh, she's gonna have her baby at work. Oh my god, she's gonna have her baby. She's having midlife crisis, by the way. She's gonna have her baby at work. She's gonna have her baby at work. She's gonna have her baby at work. I'm stressed out. I'm stressed out. I'm stressed out. Notification wall's full. Let's delete that. Okay, girl, there's a lot to do. We're taking that off. I don't want you angry. It makes you not want to do anything. Let's Wash and wash tub. Oh, actually, no. Yeah, we have to put that down. Wash and wash tub. Then we're gonna move this. Let's give her cereal. Let's try again. The chair's broken though. I'm convinced. I don't know where she is, but get your ass back home. Thank you. Oh my god. Go, 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 go. There you go. Do, 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 do. She has a plate of food already in her hand, by the way. Excuse me. No, this too! This too! This too! What is she carrying in her hand? What is happening? Where did it go? Where did the food go? Where did the food go? Eat. Fuck it. I'm gonna make her do it on her own. Why can't she wash it? You know why she can't do the laundry? Because she's pregnant. She can't do the laundry because she's pregnant, guys. She can't do the laundry because she's pregnant. Because it's a freaking fitness skill. She can't do the fitness skill, guys. Guys, Sims is stressing me out today. I need her to have her baby. I need her to have her baby. I'm so over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. I wasn't ready. Fuck it. Take your daughter to the bathtub. Because she's, for some reason, Justina's always dirty. Justina, yeah. We know. You're dirty. You're dirty and filthy. We get it, we get it, we get it. Dirty, stinky, filthy baby. Oh, she's trying to eat. I guess you can eat something, I guess. Clean out spoiled food. Have dinner. Have a caprese salad. How about that? Oh, maybe now we can do our plants. Look at that. Weed area. Water all. No bugs. Oh, there's bugs here. Spray area for bugs. All. Do our chores. Okay, you know what? We're not having another accident. I don't care. I don't care. I'm cheating. I don't care. You too. I don't care. I'm cheating. She could just go to sleep. I can't be bothered. Things were easier when she was by herself, okay? She lost her outdoorsy lifestyle because literally she's indoors all the time because she's pregnant. She's a kid. Oh, hell no. Did she? Oh, I thought she made a mess somewhere. Something's happening. The Black Rooster's thinking of leaving. He just got here. Okay, we did all of it. Check toddler. How about we just change diaper and read to sleep? Fuck it. How's she tired already? We already cheated all this. Ditzy. How you doing? What are you up to? How you doing? How you doing? She still has a stinky diaper. Like, I'm sick. I'm sick of it. 5 eggs and a hatchable egg. Okay, wait. Somehow she's not giving birth yet. Clean out spoiled food. Incubate egg. Hurry, 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 hurry. Oh, it's a thunderstorm. Of course it's a thunderstorm. It's 6 a.m. by the way. Oh, she's gone into labor. She's gone into labor. She's gone into labor on the thunderstorm. It's happening. It's happening. Have baby at hospital. Send alone. That was so stressful the first time. Send to daycare at 7 a.m. We're having a baby, guys. It's a boy. Okay, what are we naming the baby? Not that we need any more chaos in our life. We're about to have a baby. We're inviting Mauricio to live with us. We're calling him over. We're saying, hey, this is your baby. This is it. We're locking in. This is it. How does it sound? What should we name the baby? What should we name him? What should we name the baby? Jax is a good name. Wait, I like Jax. Heriberto. Should we name him Heriberto? That is a crazy name. I love that name. Heriberto. That's it. Heriberto. We're naming him Heriberto. Eddie for short. That's it. I'm keeping it. I know you're fucking lying. We had twins? I'm gonna cry. We had twins. Oh my god, we had twins. Oh, what a stressful night. Star, you couldn't come at a better time. We just had twins.
I'm in here.
I can't. Star, welcome in. Justin 3000. I am stressed out. Sims has been a mess today. We pissed ourselves. We had a twins after we couldn't do laundry. Congrats on twins. Star, what are we naming? What are we naming our twin girl? We named one Heriberto, which is like kind of iconic. But we need a girl name. What are we naming her? Let's see what the random names give me. Alicia, June. June is cute. Kirsten, no. Isabella. 2 Stephanies came up, by the way. I went to make a sandwich and I heard twins. Like Ali, I just been crashing out. Girl, we need a nanny. Girl, We need our dad. We need their dad to live with us first of all. I can't do this. Like, I'm stressed. It was stressful enough having one toddler. Now we have two. Now we have 3 kids total, by the way. Marigold? Ooh. What if we named her Madi? Marigold, but Madi for short? I like that. I like that. I cannot believe we have twins. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna take a break real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna BRB. We will be right back. I need to get my water. I need to take a bathroom break. And we need to think about what we've done. So I'll be right back. Hold that thought. All right, I'm back. I did not abandon my twins. Okay, we have twins now. I may or may not have gone on a little break. Let's go back. We have a lot to do. Let's see where the babies are. One baby. Oh, where's the other baby? Oh, outside here. Regular babies, by the way. I think these are gonna be, one of them is gonna be our heir. I think. Welcome back. Okay, Star, how are you? How's your week? We have Mari Gold. And we have Heriberto, which is kind of, I just love that name. It's just so Latino, you know? Oh, why are these not centered? That's gonna bother me. The babies are living in the hallway. Okay, it is the original baby's birthday tomorrow. So what if, hear me out. What if we aged her up? Our girl, Justina. We age her up. Hear me out. And then we get married the next day. Now, what about that? What if we got married here on the beach? And invited all our friends. I'm exhausted. I had a rough day today, but I'm home now and I can relax and forget about everything. Other than that, my week has been okay. Okay, wait, Star, hold on. All right, all done. Check your DM, Star. Anyway, I'm sorry you had a bad week. I'm so sorry you had a bad week. I'm glad we got to play some games with each other. In Bandits in Bandits lobbies. Like that was a lot of fun. How many did we play? Maybe 2. And I'm sorry that you had a bad week. I'm sorry that sometimes weeks are just bad, and I'm just happy you're here, and hopefully this is like a place you can like decompress and like forget about things. I appreciate you being here, and listening to my chaos. So yeah, let's age her up. We're gonna age up Justina. Girl, just go to bed. You've had a long ass fucking day. 8 in the morning. 8 in the morning, by the way. And I have work in 2 hours. Send alone. It's 12 p.m. She hasn't gone to work yet. Guys, this mess here is what she was doing earlier. She made a mess. Anyway, send to daycare. Send all of the kids to the daycare, because like, I guess she can just sleep. I love being here with you and your lovely community. It's truly been yes. I love that we know each other, and that honestly I love that you're just like my Twitch friend that I get to hang out with on Twitch all the time, you know? I was obsessed when you and Jam got to like hang out for the first time. She has 3 kids on her own. We're gonna move in today. We're gonna ask him to move in today. Invite over to Lot. Invite over to current Lot, Mauricio. Star, did you see my DM? Check Discord whenever you have a chance. Please and thank you. It is pouring rain, by the way. Samaria. Leilani, I need to challenge myself. A new job. Yo, she's always on a new job hunt, bro. on the new edition. Adriana, get out of my DMs, girl. She is angry. I'm taking that off. She's already been through enough. Please come over. Alright, Mauricio, come over. Mauricio! Get your behind over here.
Nar Divish. And
I did. I will answer in 2 seconds. Did you see that lightning alley? Okay, cool. I'm finished cooking. But girl. Wait, did you what are you cooking? Oh, baby. Don't hold the baby. We're gonna oh, I guess can we change the diaper? Change dirty diaper. There's a lot happening. I'm a new boo. Where's Mauricio? Mauricio, where are you? Oh, he's playing in the sand. Let's do relationship. Learn more. You know what? Let's do that. And then let's do... Wait, no. Ask to join household. There you go. We're gonna have a lot to do in the next 45 minutes. I did. I will... yeah. Allie, what are you making? Oh my god, all 3 of the babies are sad. One's sad because they're dirty. And the other 2 I can't click on because they're just objects. Oh my god. Moving in together. This is gonna make our household huge, by the way. Let's see. He does have a kid. Romulo. That is crazy. Squishy, welcome in. How have you been? Squishy, get your check-in. We have a check-in in chat now. Make sure you get yours. We just had twins, Squishy. We just had twins. As if life wasn't already hard with a baby and a raccoon. We had twins. Add twins to the equation. Add twins. Now we have all that and then add twins. Now what? I don't know what to do. Sell all lot furnishings. Yeah, I'll do that. Fuck, this house is huge. We're gonna have to expand the house. There's no room in here for everybody. Hold on. Guys, so much is happening! And their romance is so much better than before, guys. The story arc here is crazy. The story arc here is crazy. Her and Mauricio didn't have good romantic chemistry earlier. Like, she was dissatisfied. She was like, I don't have the fire, the heat. I don't have the emotion, the passion, the care. Like, we can't do this. And then she went and found a twink mermaid. Had a baby with Twink Mermaid. Had to move in, stole his money. $20,000. And she knew from the minute they had the baby. She was like, wait, you're not doing enough here. You're not feeding the kid. You're not playing. You're only playing with the kid. You don't even try to put the kid to bed. You're not even changing the kid's diaper. And then he died randomly by starvation. Like, literally out of the blue. Just for Mauricio to be at her door and be like, I know what you need now. Like, you told me exactly what you need, and I can be that guy that you need, that you deserve. And he has come home. He was watching the baby when she was mourning the loss of her baby daddy. She invited him over, cooked for him, cooked with him. You know? He at least took out the dirty dishes from the fridge and put them on the sink for her so she could get started on the dishes. And now their dynamic is wholesome. Like, this is iconic. This is so perfect for their story arc. Like, you have no idea. How tender. Leilani and Mauricio seem to care for each other, both as lovers and friends. Romantic partners with wholesome romantic dynamic to choose. Choose to perform romantic, friendly, or funny interactions with each other more often, and hold a meaningful place in each other's hearts. Oh my god, I'm obsessed with them. I'm good, thank you so much. How are you guys? What is happening? Oh, he has a kid. Right, right. Yeah, of course he has a kid. I knew he had a kid, but it wasn't part of the equation until now. You know what I mean? It didn't matter. He never brought his kid around. That's cool. Red flag. Red flag. It has been very stressful. Then she was like, I don't need passion. I need a provider. And yes, the random starvation. No, literally, this whole situation is crazy. Okay, yes, I enjoy the wholesome dynamic. Wait, we have a lot to do. And who are you, sir? You don't even have a bed here. Well, there's about to be 2 kids in this house. Okay. This is a lot. This is a lot happening. Wait. You know what? Now that everyone's here, we're gonna go into cast soon. Hold on. We're gonna expert repair that too. You have a lot to do. You have a lot to work for. They're talking. I'm gonna let them talk. I'm gonna let him eat his cereal. Sure, Jan. We're gonna learn all about you at home. The birthday party is tomorrow, yes. We're about to have 2 children in the house and 2 infants in the house. Like, since you asked, I do find you attractive. Great. They don't have any romance? Like, where'd their romance go? I thought they had more romance in this. They just had a baby together. Don't do this to me, sir. You know what? Let's put his daddy's... Oh, you know what? Then she doesn't have to deal with that. She can repair that, and then... Can I give her a bath? Like, where's the bath? Where's the bath option? You know what? Let's just click the bath. He's sad too. Why is he sad? New sibling. Rom is in tears after meeting a new sibling he didn't want? What? Wait a second. Cry it out and then cry it out in your dad's bed. No, you're gonna clean your dish, okay? You're new here. You better get with it. You better get with the program. You better clean this up too. You know what? Maybe he can't clean that up. Maybe I'm being too harsh. We also have to go into cast and figure out who these people are. We're gonna have to do a whole new living arrangement. We have a lot to do. All right. Squishy's like, I'm here for the drama. This is a soap opera, literally. Episode 3 or 4, something like that. Girl, why did you sit down? Can you mop like mad? Can you be productive? Fill and call Chonky to eat. I don't know where homie went. He went to throw something away. You also have to... Wait, you never gave her a bath. Can you get your child in the tub? There's a lot happening at 11 p.m. on a Friday night, guys. A lot is happening. A lot is happening. You're like, oh, phew, yeah. At least she can, as a kid, she can start taking care of herself, which is going to be incredible. Manners, yes. Now he can go be sad. Go mope somewhere else. We're going to fix him up. We're going to make him look like his dad a little bit more, too. What are they going to talk about? Oh, he just stopped. Can you clean this? Why aren't you bathing her? Why aren't you bathing her? Why aren't you bathing her? Why aren't you bathing your daughter? Why aren't you putting her in the bathtub and bathing her? Why aren't you picking her up? Oh, because she's bugged. Can you move? I don't know what's happening. We broke the babies. Oh, there's a lot happening. What is he gonna do in the mirror? Give yourself a pep talk? Wait, why are you so sad? He's like, everything's gonna be okay. You're gonna be a really good brother. Not like the last time. So when are we dating the Grim Reaper? Maybe that could be another generation thing. Oh, he feels a little better. Wait. Wait. I kind of love him. I love him, girl. I don't know. There's too many things. I'm so overwhelmed. And so is everyone. Like, Justina is crying. There's too much happening. Okay.
Nabo.
Yeah. How about you lecture one of them? Can you throw that away? Can you be productive? Here, how about you be nice to the little girl? Talk about siblings. Oh my god, she is sobbing. I can't. I'm stressed out. Change her. Do something. Make her feel better. Oh, look at him. He's like, it's okay. Like, this happens to all of us. Like, we all poop in our pants sometimes, you know? She fucking stinks. Can someone fix the baby that stinks? Stink is messing me up. He's like, I was ripped from my home. My dad had a womb. That's incredible. Girl, now why are we just throwing numbers on the floor? Like, there is a trash can. There's a trash can right here. There's a trash can right here. This is the most chaotic Labor Day ever. Can someone throw them away? Can someone throw them away? No, throw it away. Throw it away, please. A trash can is required. There's a trash can right here. Oh. The trash can is full. And no one thought to empty the trash can. Empty the trash can, please. For the love of God. Empty the trash can. She said, how much TV you buy? Like, what is this chaos? There's a trash can downstairs. Like, someone throw it away. Put down? Like, what are you doing with my baby? Can you give her a bath? Can you do something? Why can't we give her a bath? Why can't we give her a bath? Do you want to take a bath? Yes, please, please. Why can't we give her a bath? Why? Why can't we give her a bath? What's happening? Why can't we give her a bath? Why? What? The toddler is always angry. Like, she is such an angry baby. I'm stressed. Where'd the baby even go? Oh, she is just having a nap in the chair. At least they're off to bed finally at 2:30 in the morning. She hasn't emptied the trash yet. And he's watching TV. Like, how about you go to fucking sleep? What is he doing up there? This is not. Oh, he's crying. He's hiding under the covers because of the thunderstorm. I cannot. This is such a sad game. DM has been answered. Okay, period. What are you making for dinner? Did you answer that? Did you answer that yet? No. You didn't. What are you having for dinner today? Okay, period. Okay, I love that. Love that for us, Star. Ask for advice? Yeah, period. Ask for advice. Like, how do I be a good brother? Do you have experience with that? I want him to go to bed. How about you go to fuck to sleep? He's just reading. He's just reading in the bathroom. And he left it up there. She's starving, by the way. Where's this conversation happening? You just gave up? He gave up. Okay, girl. Nap? And... oh my god, she has... all her needs aren't met, by the way. She's having no fun. You know what? I don't know what he's doing. Don't read. I want you to go to sleep. I want you to go to sleep. 4 a.m. guys. Ooh, sesame chicken ramen. Yum. Okay, at least we'll have 2 kids. The tub is blocked by something. No, that's not true. Never mind. Rome is having a nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let them do whatever they want to do. Okay?
Ooh.
There's a bug with carrying themselves. That sounds so good. I would love some rain. Oh, you did? Okay, period. You know what? Maybe I just can't read. Sorry, Star. I can't read. Mauricio really enjoyed hearing Rome's talk about his interest just now. It can be endearing when another sim gushes about something they're passionate about. That's so sweet. Sure. Oh, we have to go into Cass. You know what? While we're at it, let's go into Cass. Not ill. Leilani is calling. Sometimes it seems like you just sprang up out of nowhere. We've never discussed your childhood before. What sort of things inspired you when you were a kid? Why would she have to call me? She's in the house with me. She's literally in the toilet. I mean, in the tub. Let's see. What was his background? um, let's see. Everyone's little helper. I love that.
Ah.
I want him to help me with his outfits. Can we bathe her? Can we do something?
Lanaga.
Like, do something. Do something. Give back. Like, do something. Help her. Somebody help her. Watch. Oh my god. Plan outfits, please. Why can't we get in there? Why can't we get in there? Why? Why can't anyone move? What's happening? What's happening? You know what? I'm gonna have to save the game. I'm saving the game before it breaks. Justina is very hungry. You know what? I was trying to feed her, and literally I can't feed her. I can't do anything. You know what? Maybe it's just time to turn it off. I think I'm gonna fix it, and we'll play this another day. How about that? And how about that? And what if we just said good night to Sims? That seems like a good idea. Oh my goodness, that was crazy. What a crazy adventure. So much happened. So much happened today in Sims. So much. Literally. We had twins. Our toddler was running amok. We were pregnant, so we couldn't do laundry, so our laundry was just dirty. We had so much laundry. Everything's getting crazy. Our household is now like triple the size it was. When we come back, it'll be Justina's birthday. It will be our wedding. We're gonna do I'm gonna rebuild the house off stream. Maybe I'll stream it in Discord. I'm gonna rebuild the house so that everyone can fit, and I'm gonna even make it so that the children fit. Like Justina's gonna be a child, so we're gonna have the children have their own space. We're gonna figure something out. I'm thinking like, what if it was like a bigger house? So we're maybe we'll work on that in the Discord. But I appreciate you all for being here. This was a lot of fun. I love playing Sims on stream. I wish I could stream during the day. Because I feel like Sims is a lot more fun during the day when more people can be here and hang out. But Ali, you're my favorite person to be here when I'm playing Sims. Because you get to just experience the Unhinged firsthand. You're like, you had to be there. But Ali was there. Ali was the witness. Okay? I appreciate you all for being here so much for all the lurks and everybody checking in. You guys make streams so much fun, and honestly, after the week I had, I needed streams so bad. So I appreciate everybody for giving me their time and hanging out with me. Tomorrow we'll be live. We're gonna be playing Pokemon Legends EA. We haven't played that in a while, and honestly, we haven't finished the DLC, so maybe that's something we can do on stream as well. And then Sunday, something that was planned on stream, but Star and I will be playing DVD. We're gonna duo. It's gonna be a Star Justin duo, and we're gonna loop and we're gonna boop, and it's gonna be great. You heard it here. You heard it here first, folks. Okay. I appreciate you all for being here. I have work tomorrow. I'm trying to hang out for the rest of the night. Have my tacos. I have tacos waiting for me. And do we want to stream tonight? Let's see. Do we want to stream? I mean, do we want to raid? Do we want to raid tonight? Who do we want to raid? Who's gonna be raided by Justin? Let's raid Sick Ducker. You know what? Our new friend playing DVD. Are they still live? Be honest. Yep, they're still live. Let's do it. Guys, we still have this fundraiser going. If we could raise, even for my own goal, if we can just raise $200, I will do it. I will plan a 12-hour stream. And it would be a huge community stream. It would be a lot of fun. How do we think about that? If we could just get $200 for the Trevor Project, that would like make my life. So tell your friends to be here this weekend. Tell them to just donate when I'm off stream. I'm gonna put some stuff out on socials, so we'll see, and maybe make an announcement in the Discord. I've been using Discord a lot. I hope that's been helpful. Let's raid Sick Ducker. Let's go hang out. Again, thank you all for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me on this Friday night. I know I was a little late, but it was all worth it as long as you guys were here. So, thanks for always making streams so great. Stream is only great because you guys are here, literally. I say it every time. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's go hang out with Sick. Thank you for your stream. Thank you for being here, Star. Thanks for cooking your dinner with us. And thanks for joining right when we had twins. Like, literally the craziest part of stream. I was spiraling. Watch it back. But I appreciate you all. Love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.